Hey y'all, it's Hope from CraftyHope, and I have been dying to do a craft room tour for y'all, but my craft room's been an absolute disaster and really not worth taking a look at. So I have spent the last 2 or 3 days cleaning, purging, getting rid of stuff. You should see the pile of stuff that we're going to try to put in a yard sale that is elsewhere and not in my craft room. Anyway, let me get to the craft tour. This could take a little while because I want to show you all my little nooks and crannies, but I'm going to go through it as fast as I can. So let's go. This is the outside going in. Ooh. And as always, there's a cat in the way. So coming in, I'm going to start off with the probably some of the most boring part and go to the left. So over here, I have a basic piece of twine hanging down with clothespins, and I use that as a drying rack as I'm working on like doing jelly prints that I can hang them up real fast. I also have a little, if I get down, cardboard drawer thing that I keep stuff. It's office supplies mostly. There's like not safety pins, whatever those things are, and labels and pens and pencils and stuff like that, and dividers and file folders and envelopes and stuff like that in there. Next is my closet, and then I've got my color wheel that I have there for handy dandy reference. Up top is just, there's some personal storage stuff and newspapers and some small containers and tins that eventually I'll punch out. I've got a lamp work kit is what's down there, and up there's just some extra notebooks and stuff. Up here I've got some other containers and old CDs and stuff I need to go through, and some magazines. This bookshelf here, the top two shelves are books and magazines and maps and sewing patterns and stuff like that for collage. Below it is some embroidery thread and hoops for embroidery, and then below that you can't really see some felt and fabric and stuff, and I've got my wrapping paper over there. In the center here is a bunch of containers, which you can't see, okay, that are like, there's some fabric in there and more wrapping paper stuff, personal stuff, and then this big container is some ephemera I bought. Oh, and then up here are my punches that I just haven't been able to find a place for it. Alright, over here is another bookshelf. I guess I should start at the bottom. Up here is just containers of pens and pencils and stuff. There's some miscellaneous, I mean, it's all general craft supplies. This two things, I'm sorry, these two here are containers for my shipping for my jewelry. There's all kinds of things in here. This is yarn and thread. This is wood and paper mache pieces. There's leather over here, and then some metal back here. Move this. Down on this shelf is some, oh, actually this is a big thing of keys that I got at some point, and these are, I can't think, they're some kind of electrical tube thing that I have a bunch of that I'm trying to decide what to do. And this is what I call my travel stuff. This is for mixed media and whatnot, and if I want to take stuff, these are all like my smaller portions of things to take with me. And then down here is like bath and soap making supplies, and then I've got some canvases over here that to play with, and what I'm putting back is just a big container of bubble wrap. Alright, so that's most of the closet. I am sorry for my bad camera work. Okay, so that is all the closet. I got a few bags over here hanging off the closet that are for travel and whatnot. Then I've got this beautiful bookshelf here that my husband built me a while back, and it's all kinds of miscellaneous. There are some, those are actually flowers for my wedding that I have dried, and that's a box of, well, a basket of some little toy things that are sentimental to me. And then this is some sewing stuff. It's rickrack and seam binding and things like that I don't sew, but I like having those things around. Excuse me. So then up on this top shelf, it's mostly ribbon. I think there's some lace and then some Dremel tools back here. And more ribbon. This is a glass grinder that I like to have on hand. And over here is a rock tumbler. This is all just personal stuff. This shelf is beads. This is not all of my beads. These are just small to-go travel containers. This was, I got that D-stash from Shipwreck Dandy. This is what I put most of it in. So there's a bunch of other containers like that of those. I've got little containers of seed beads. And this is all a bunch of bezels that I've got in here. So it's filigree in here. It's a mix. This shelf is my craft books, at least the ones I kept when I purged here. And then this shelf, this side is all bead magazines that I need to decide what I'm going to do with, and my excess are over here. This bottom shelf, as Asia is demonstrating, thank you, Vanna, is Sewing Supplies. I've got 2 sewing kits and then the sewing machine, and then there's some old yearbooks. Now the prize in my room is this cabinet. If you can see, I love, love, love this cabinet. It is my beads that are all sorted by color. And I'm sorry, the light's a little bright, but that's where all my beads, and I've got some focals and stuff in it. I'll let you see in some of the drawers. Pink doesn't really have much, but they have, I've got some of these locking containers as well as these small Tupperware containers and lots of bags in each of these. I also have, let's see if I can find one of the drawers that has it. Yes, I also have these like fishing tackle containers in some of them. And that's one of the reasons I love this cabinet is it fits a lot. So, and then also down at the bottom, I have it labeled for like metals, copper and gold and silver and brass. Those are all findings. So, at another time I may go through the whole thing with you, but that's the one thing I haven't done in my purge is go through that and get rid of stuff. So, up here on top, this is all reorganized. I had a TV over here, but I never watched it. So it's going. But I put up this hat box, and in it, it has some of the stuff from my Etsy shop, and then there's other completed jewelry up in these other containers that need to be priced and whatnot. So, and I've got this picture up here and some dried flowers over there. Now, I may have to stop this video in a little bit because it looks like my battery's dying very quickly, so we'll see how that goes. Next to, oh, I'm trying to get down again, guys. Next to my bead cabinet is this window seat that I think we got at, oh, I don't know if it was Lowe's or Home Depot, but it's like part of the Martha Stewart line, and you buy these little containers, and these are actually supposed to be open, but I didn't like them open. I wanted drawers, so I had Pat build me some drawers, so thanks, Pat. But inside are wood stamps, or wood back stamps, or whatever you're going to call it, on these two sides. This also has some foam stamps and whatnot, and this has a few pads in it. I purged a bunch of stuff that was in there. In these drawers, this is actually my photo props, because I take all of my pictures up in this window for my jewelry. So these are all my photo props right here, handy dandy. This drawer has stuff. I have it's called a microwave kiln, and these are supplies to make things. I haven't used it in a while, and it almost got purged, but basically these are glass cutting tools and fused glass supplies. So, and then this one is my soldering supplies, my soldering iron and flux and solder and whatnot, and there's some copper tape and all that. Here I have, this is a container of the polymer clay tools that I actually kept because, well, I got rid of a lot of that. Up here is a box, a tin of buttons that my mother-in-law gave me, and then there are some jewelry props that I don't use. They are all this lovely velvet, black velvet, and with Oh, that kitty there, it all gets covered in cat hair. So I want to recover those, and so they're sitting here to remind me. So next to it, I have this hutch. Let's see if I can show it to you. That my grandmother gave me some time ago, and it's kind of my all-purpose jewelry thing. Above it, I have this, like the color wheel. This is shapes, and I thought that was a neat sign to put up there for doodling. But I've got some general stuff up here. Up here is broken crayons. The rest of this is just, you'll see all over the room. I have containers. I like little bowls and plates and things to put beads and stuff to scatter in. So this shelf here is all buttons. I have sorted my buttons. These are all mother of pearl. These are shank buttons that are cheaper shank buttons. These are white buttons that are just whatever. These are buttons that I really like for some reason, or in groups. These are wood and natural buttons, and these are cheap regular buttons. And then these are, oh, I'm running out of breath. These are buttons on cards sorted by color. They're in little baggies by color in each of them. So I like buttons on the cards because then I can make earrings or pairs or, you know, group things that match. So that's great. Here I put more buttons. I had a bunch of baby food containers that had a bunch of buttons sorted by color, but I decided I just wasn't using them that way and they were taking up space. So I took them out and poured all of those in that jar, and well, it is what it is. This is the first button container I ever got. This is my family's button tin. I hate to say that I did take buttons out of it. Oh, I'm going to have to pause y'all to open that, so I have two hands. Hold on. Okay, so I got it open. This is my family's buttons. I believe when I first got this, I took buttons out of it, and I kind of hate that now, but it doesn't matter. It's, you know, they're buttons. But, so I keep that one here, and I just think it's a pretty white fruit cake mix container. So there's that. Let's put it up there again. And then next to that, I have a thing of paint that I eventually want to paint this hutch. And then there's the Holly Holly lunchbox with thermos that I found at an antique store that I love. It's holding my label maker, actually. I have this silver tiered tray that had a bunch of polymer clay canes and chunks and stuff on it, and it was just sitting there gathering dust, so that's all been put away to donate, so, or to sell or whatever. So, and I've got a big jar here that is more button cards that have not been sorted by color, and a jar here that is the polymer clay I decided to keep. So this here is just some of my prepping supplies for my jewelry to sell, because the stuff that is for sale is hanging right here. The stuff that's in my Etsy shop is hanging next to it. So when something sells, I can, or I need to hang it up, I've got my supplies over here. This cabinet also has a lot of really basic craft supplies in it. The drawer here has extras of things and stuff like glitter and safety pins and pipe cleaners and magnets and stuff like that. Really basic craft supplies. The same goes for down here. It's a lot of my just excess supplies. There are palettes and spray paints, and that's a bucket of tape, and that's extra little things of like varnish and well, that's all varnish for some reason. There's extender and stuff like that. Here's my glue guns, and oh, there's something else in there. Oh, a hot pot and stuff like that. This is some markers and crayons. Over here are my glues, more extra supplies and stuff like that. So that's that cabinet. Is kind of buttons and all-purpose general. I showed you my bead stuff there. Down here is it's a photo tent and lights and stuff that sometimes I use when the light's not so great here. These are printer's trays. And I've got 2 of them, and I love that they still have the typeface there, which is upside down for you. But so I have 2 of those that I got fairly cheaply at a thrift store or antique store one day. I can't decide what I want to do with them. Up here I have 2 shelves with just acrylic paint on them. I can't decide if I like those there anymore, so they're meh. Let's see. There is a mannequin that I use for photos. She's got one of my old t-shirts on, and she's plastic, and I want to cover her with something, but I just haven't gotten to it. But she sits on a, well, it's a file cabinet, which I have covered with a piece of fabric that I like, that I backed with stick-on magnet, and it just attaches to this so that I can keep it covered, and you know, it's not so ugly. And of course now I can't get it up there because I'm only using one hand. Alright. Ah! Look at me. Whew. Wow, that was tough. Okay. Next to all of that is, well, problem here is my desk is right here in the center of the room. So I'm going to probably have to work my way around. But next to it is a, one of those plastic wheelie 3-drawer things that you can get just about anywhere. The dollar store, the dollar store, Walmart, Big Lots, whatever. And so I love that. So I'm going to go around the other side of the desk. Here we go. Around my desk, this is my, in the middle of the room, my computer cart that goes with my desk. And my desk is there, and it's a high desk, and I've got a high chair too to go with it because I didn't like the bar stools. But over here is my little plastic cart. Up here on top I've got some candy and goodies that I keep in here for me when I need it. A candle. This is just a little, let's see if you can see it. It's a, I guess a dip thing that I altered with some crackle paint and whatnot. But I use it to, I got, these are all jump rings of different types, and here's some buttons and findings and beads. And when I clean off my desk and I find those little things on there, I hate having to sort them out individually. So I have this to just dump it on, and when I just need a jump ring, I can grab that. And this all goes into my bead soup jar, which I'll show you in a minute. But in these drawers, let's see, up here, and I just, when I was cleaning, I read about it. This is all jewelry stuff in here. Well, mostly stuff I grab. It's, this little pouch has things like, oh, what does it have in here? Okay, so this little pouch has things like bead reamers and hole punches and things like that that I use for metal and paper. There are also like files and screwdrivers, and these are actually from the Dollar Tree, and they're nail file blocks, and I love them for little filing in the craft room. But I've got little things in here that I can just reach over and grab. This back here is more for general crafts or art only, you know, charcoal pencils and ink, and I mean, when do you not need wood sticks? So anyway, oh, and these actually sit on top of a utensil sorting container. You can see that. That's got pens and extra supplies and stuff that I can get to just a little bit easier. So that's that drawer. The drawer below is more hardcore. It's got a self-healing mat and metal files, and that's a scissor sharpener. And there's a jewelry file in there somewhere. These are all erasers to make stamps with. My brayer is in here, so it's a little more serious, but it's stuff I don't use as often. In this modern drawer world, we're not going to open it all the way, but it is simply Ziploc bags, basically, and organza bags and stuff like that. It's just little bags. Alright, I have a table here that I'll show you in a minute, but down here, and see, Asia's just following me around, is a bunch of containers. Here are all just empty containers for sorting and whatnot. I've got a box that I actually need to sort through. It's a bunch of beads that a very good friend of mine sent me. And on top of it are mixed media supplies that I need to go through. These are forks and spoons, and these are some Tim Holtz tags and faucets. There are little things like little jars I've gotten at antique stores. It's got keys in it. This up here is all wood pieces. This is Scrabble tiles. And then these are wood buttons and wood blocks and things that can be, if I can get them out, that can be used for jewelry making. So that's all in there. This is an entire container of bracelets. Basically, bangles, wood, metal, whatever that I want to alter in some way, fashion, or form. This is just different little things. These are tiny acrylic pieces, which you probably can't see, that my husband cut out on the laser cutter. But there's all kinds of things in here. These are some brass picture frame pieces. There's a couple actual brass picture frames. Some laser cut wood pieces, hinges, just a variety of odd little things that are too big to go in some of my other sorting. So, and then over here, the hat box that Asia's sitting in is all chain. And that's where I keep my chain for jewelry making. And only that container I won't open is seed beads. Lots and lots of seed beads. I hardly ever go in that container. I don't really use seed beads, but I have them. I have lots of them. And I don't know what any of the sizes or anything like that are, so I just have them. And every once in a while when I need a seed bead, I have lots of them. That entire thing, seed beads. So, they are sorted by color. So, alright, so I'm going to get up and show you what's up here. Give me a second. Alright, so I am now sitting at my desk, and to the right of it, I'm showing you what's up here. I have a big magnetic board, which is some random things. It's a necklace I made once, and a postcard, and my little things when I got published. Next to it are these, I have to show you these. They are some kind of, I think a candle or something goes on it. They're kind of sconcy type things. I found them at a thrift store or yard sale or something. And they have these like plastic beads, and I really thought I was going to take them apart and make them into jewelry, but I ended up hanging up when we moved into this house, and there they have stayed. Above them is a parasol that I hung in the corner that just stays there too. I have a, what do you call it, a thread holder for sewing that I've just put wire on. But I also have more wire in these stackable containers. This one is all copper, and up here is brass and dark annealed wire, and then these are some wired to go. I also got this bag of wire because I just hadn't found a way to organize it yet. Below that is a tiny plastic container that's got, this is all wax linen cord and recycled sari silk. If I can show it to you. That's fun. This is all, what did I call it? I called it thread, but it's also, gosh, leather, and there's fishing line and hemp, and there is some beading thread in here. So that's a good variety of stuff. And then this one is just called wire, and beading wire, and wire I don't use near as much as the wire I've got out here. Next to it, I have the jar of treasures, which is all kinds of old jewelry that I need to take apart in some way. So that's my, ooh, I can't wait to dig into that jar. I've got some, just some materials over here that have inspiration and stuff written down. This is a jar of vinegar and water mixed together, basically just glass cleaner. These are just little things that I have clean other things, and Dixie cups, and I can't tell you how much I love clothespins. So I have them stashed all over the room for anything I need. Below here is a container like this. I have several of these old hardware containers. This one drawer has these screw-on caps for my texture hammer. But the rest of this cabinet are all art beads from different artists, so that, and it's sitting right here where I can get to it pretty quickly. You can't see any of them because they're on the plastic containers, but I know they're there. Next to it, I have this organizer. I know y'all are getting bored now. Sorry about that. Up here, just, it's bead soup. It's a bunch of mostly seed beads and slightly larger beads. This is all shank buttons that I really like, so that they're easy to get to. This I just bought, I think at a scrapbook store. But it's a bunch of neat little buttons that are whatever. These are regular buttons that are vintage that I liked, and some mother of pearl buttons. So plenty of buttons at hand. This is a jar of keys because I have keys all over the place. Got some extra little bits of chain up here, and I think that's more bigger chain underneath it. Then there's, next to it, these are all chandelier crystals. And then this is my bigger bead soup. So, and then there's some Johnson's wax paste and patina stuff for me to get to. This is just towels for different things. And my safety glasses, which are very important. I use them more than you think. These are general tools, little skewers and paper, what are those things? Q-tips and toothpicks and bits of wire that I have sitting around. These are my nice tools in a case that I keep them in here so that if I do want to travel, they're easy to grab and go. And then I've got more wire and my bench block and a little anvil to grab. Then we have all these containers. This is some different supplies that I just haven't organized yet. This is a bunch of shells, and these are old earrings that need to be taken apart that can be upcycled into something else, not other jewelry. This is more like my jar of treasures. That's pretty much what this is. It's the overflow of things that, and it's also old jewelry that I want to take apart, and I don't know, stuff that I need to get into and just pull apart. And then, oh, if I can get to it, this one is projects to be worked on. On top is some magnets for art journaling, and then there's things that other people have asked me to fix, or jewelry I've made that I know I need to fix. So it's pretty much works in progress that don't excite me at the time. Alright, so I'm going to go to the wall behind my desk, and I've got this, which right now just has some wire and double-sided tapes, along with an apron hanging. There is this little cubby shelf that has everything. These are all mediums, basically. There's Mod Podge and matte medium, and this is resin, and Ink Central's matte. I use clear nail polish as a sealer. There's, I think this is molding paste. Yeah, I like molding paste. Diamond glaze. There's a couple glues up there. These are all of my patinas, Vintage Ranger patinas. These are paint dabbers and distress stains, and some distressed crackle paint. Up here is the I've got this little bit of gesso, but I also have the, if I can get to it, well, this is baking soda. But I have a bunch of these iced enamels from Sue's, right there, Susan Lennart Casmer. But there's also, oh, what are these called? I can't remember. Pearl X powders. I've got all of them, I think. that are back here, and then there's some twinkling H2O. So basically this is just sparkly stuff that I'm trying to keep, sorry y'all, keep from falling down. Below that I have, gosh, I don't even know what's in that cubby. There's the medium for the iced enamels. There's Renaissance wax, some metallic paints, what do you call it, Fray check. This one has more metallic paints and things like that. And then I have my alcohol inks, and Gilder's paste is in this one. So this is, you know, I love this little shelf of awesomeness. Below it, well, let's go ahead and go next to it. I have this shelf that is just stamps. So below it is and I don't know that I can back up enough for y'all to see what's actually below it, but it's this wire rack that has 6 cubbies. There. Can you see? Gosh, y'all are gonna hate this video. I may have to do it again. But on top of it, I have this container, which is jewelry that's made, and I need to take pictures of the ones in the bottom cubby, and these are, pictures need to be edited and descriptions need to be written for Etsy. So that's close at hand. I've got this container that is full of business cards, and here's paintbrushes and more paintbrushes and a little button thing that I made. This is a stained glass thing I made with glues, and that is actually little things of coffee for aging paper. This is a bunch of distress inks and distress pens and some palette knives. These containers here are found objects, basically, that I have organized. Here's some pendants, and these are little jars, and I don't know if I'm going to show you all of these drawers, but religious things. But I just got done labeling. There's keys and tags, and actually bells, brads and buckles and keyholes, and watch parts, game pieces, washers, grommets. These are flowers that I don't know what to do with. Actual eyeglasses that I've popped out of glasses that I don't know what to do with. Pop tops. This is some mica and other little things. I haven't labeled that. That's empty. Here I've got 2 different things of glue. These are just all different kinds and shapes of rings. These are plastic bits I don't really know what to do with. This is tabs, because this cab one got full and I gotta label that. Here are charms, so anything that has a hole pretty much in the top of it or a loop is a charm. These are handmade pieces that I've made, soldered little bubbles and wood things and altered washers and things like that. This is a bunch of rhinestone pieces. Actually, was that even rhinestone? No, that was, what's got rhinestones in it, didn't it? No, that's pearls, but for some reason it's in my rhinestone container. That's empty. This is junk. Little bits and pieces of things that I found and don't know what to do with, that I will find something to do with. And then items found on the beach. Gracious. And then these are, well, it says glass pebbles, but I've got more I need to add to that one. Let's see, over here these are all ink pads. These are all spray inks, and this is, well, that's my phone, but this is mostly acrylic paints that are handy to get to. Oh, are y'all getting tired yet? We're almost done. Alright, now the actual cubby itself, this is all seal wool and sanding paper. Along with paper towels. Here is metalworking tools. These are my hammers and punches and like letter stamps. All metalworking tools. Over here is my Dremel and a candle warmer thing that I like to use, and then a sewing machine, and then this is a UV light for curing the some of the resin. Then we get into some of the paper stuff. This is all stamps, more stamps. Here's stamps. This is mostly the clear stamps, like that. I've got Happy Meal that I've received that I don't know quite what to do with. This is all my stencils. And then back in there. Here is, okay, this is my jelly plate. Yeah. And this is all texture stuff for my jelly plate, really. And these are some jelly prints that I want to go back over with some more layers. And then here, as you can see, are my stickers. And then above that is kind of works in progress and handy stuff. This is what I'm working on now. There's a journal and some play cards I'm altering. This is my bucket of scraps that I use for collage. Some deli paper, and these are all magazines for me to cut out of. These are some like under papers and whatnot, and deli prints for collaging, and these are all journals for me to use. So then I've got another one of those 3-drawer plastic rolly containers next to it that's more like art journaling collage stuff. I've got all my pens and markers and colored pencils and inks and oil pastels and watercolors and things like that. And I've actually 2 drawers of that is different things. These are like gelatos and my Colorix things. My Prismacolor pencils. So that's all. Oh, and then of course, my UV glue stick. So that's all that stuff. And then below that is stuff that can be altered or is to be altered. Like, I get to Tim Holt grunge board. And then I've got these little wood embellishments I just found. And there's some fabric in here that's to be altered. All kinds of different little things that are art journal kind of related. Man, I can't get it situated. On either side of it, I have different little things I use. There's some big art pads that are good for under paper and cutting boards. Up here, I have my heat gun and some water to go with my brushes and 2 things of gesso, and then things like my sponges, you know, the cosmetic sponges, and baby wipes. Above it, there, that is all of my washi tape. So let me see if I can stand up and show it to you a little bit better, because that angle is horrible. There. Those are all my washi tapes. We are at the last bookshelf, because there's the door. And then I can show you my desk and we'll be done. But here I've got a toaster oven, which since I've gotten rid of all my polymer clay stuff, I'm not real sure what I'm going to do with. And then those are just some little happy things. Okay. Below that is paper. There is cardstock and scrapbook papers, and of course they're upside down for some reason. And jelly printed papers, but it's just paper. This is all envelopes and cards for card making, and then there's like pads of paper over here. Then this is different ephemera and papers. It's basically more collage stuff. This is a whole thing of napkins for collage, and this is like serious ephemera that most of this in this basket I want to scan before I tear up. And then I've got folders over here that have different things, like these are envelopes with the security stuff in it that has nice texture to it. There are doodles of mine. This is all images from books and whatnot. These are images I've printed out, and then this is all, well, doilies that are falling out. So it's not well done. Everything wants to fall out. And lastly, we'll get up and go to my desk. So, in the middle of the room, if you can see that, is my desk. There's, again, my computer rolly desk. And then my desk. Up here I have a little trash can, little containers I put things to sort in, more containers for sorting, my timers, which are ever present and ready. These are projects I'm currently working on. Just current works in progress. This thing is the best thing in the world. I found it at a thrift store, and it just has these little holes in it, and my pliers all fit in there, my scissors all fit in it. It is seriously one of the best things I found. I love it. So if you ever stumble upon this, it was wood. I painted it black. It's great. And then next to it I have just tools. My little monkey that holds my pencil. I love him. My mom got him for me ages and ages and ages ago. Glue stick. These are my everyday pens. And then this is just pencils and markers and water pens or brushes or whatever. And then these are miscellaneous tools. So rollers and skewers and scoops and tweezers and stuff like that. So, alright guys, that is my craft room. I will give you one more look around. This is the view I have when I'm working. Let's see, there. So, I hope I have not overwhelmed you with everything, but it is one of those things I have been wanting to do, and now it is done. Thanks. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.